From each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are. From memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried. And with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight. Reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I'm Jeffrey. And for those who are following along, you know that we have made it to our 11th episode. So before we dive into the episode, I would like to read, possibly for the last time, our current top 10s on the list upon a star. Would you like to start us off, KJ?
Sure. So mine is Dumbo, The Three Caballeros, Fantasia, Saludos Amigos, Bambi, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Make Mine Music, The Reluctant Dragon, Pinocchio, and Victory Through Air Power.
So my top 10 through the first 10 movies is number 1, Pinocchio. Number 2, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Number 3, The Three Caballeros. Number 4 is Dumbo. 5, Bambi. 6, Saludos Amigos. 7, The Reluctant Dragon. 8, Fantasia. 9, Make Mine Music. And 10 was Victory Through Air Power. So today we're on our 11th film. 11th film is it's Song of the South, the one that everybody knows about for different reasons. We're not going to dive too deep on different reasons, but it's a movie that is no longer in distribution. It's obviously not on Disney Plus. Look it up. It's not our place to go into that part. But I will say is that we do not support any of the negative undertones. We don't support any of the negative themes, none of that. But as for watching for completeness and historical significance, I think it's something that we should watch. I've actually seen this movie before. I'm not sure if you had seen it before this. It's not the easiest to find, but it is the 11th movie, so we're going to dive into it. Would you like to start us off with a synopsis before I keep talking?
Yeah. So the kindly storyteller, Uncle Remus, tells a young boy stories about trickster Bear Rabbit who outwits Brer Fox and slow-witted Brer Bear.
I don't know, Princess, if you're coming up here. We got a lot to read today.
Sorry, it's thundering while we're recording this and she's freaking out.
So
she is fine though, I promise.
She also loves Disney. So
and ironically, her and her dad's favorite song comes from this movie.
It's true. We'll get there. So this is Song of the South. It's from November the 12th, 1946. It's definitely a movie of its time, kind of like we were talking earlier about Victory Through Air Power. Mm-hmm. We did cover Victory Through Air Power, so there's no reason for us not to cover this. I don't know what you're going for, girly, but so I am very vocal that I loved the ride Splash Mountain. For those who are watching, besides seeing this lovely princess on my lap right now, know that I'm not wearing a Splash Mountain shirt. I'm actually wearing a different land shirt from Magic Kingdom. And that is because we are lucky enough to have a house in Florida and most of my Disney shirts are there. So judge me all you want. We're going to get down, okay, girly? We'll come back after, all right? Come here. All right. So Splash Mountain was an amazing ride. I was too afraid to ride it for a long time, but I'm very happy I did because it very quickly became a favorite of mine. It is an attraction based on the animated Brer Fox, Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear, and Shenanigans crew. It was cute, and I'm very much looking forward to diving into the new Tiana's Adventure over at the Magic Kingdom. The Princess and the Frog ride. It's something that I'm very much looking forward to. It is actually not quite opened at the time of recording. But we will be reporting back once we ride it. There is a poster from the ride right here. Anything you want to touch about the ride before we dive into the movie?
It is a very cute ride.
I watch it on YouTube all the time with my dog.
It does.
Um,
Is it chickens that I always like in
Yeah.
the thing?
yeah,
So-
at the end,
Yeah. So
watch it on YouTube. Even if you never got a chance
watch
to
it
go
on
there.
YouTube. The chickens on the boat scene, like if it's always my favorite thing to see which ones are working, which ones
Yeah.
aren't. And my favorites are the ones that they don't fix, and they're just kind of like the laid back dancing
Yeah.
like
So,
they're great to see.
but again, we understand
Yeah.
why this is no longer, released.
Mhm.
My parents always,
It honestly though did have some like great music, like
Mhm.
Zippity Doo Dah. Like I had no idea that that's like where
Yep.
it came from.
so we'll touch on that. My parents tell this story that we used to own this on VHS and I lent it to an ex-girlfriend of mine and never got it back. I don't know how much I believe that, but there's a good chance of that. But
Yeah.
again, we don't support any of the negativity, but we love Disney, so let's dive.
Okay.
This one might be a little bit longer because I assume that not everybody has seen this, so we're gonna synopsis it as we're going here.
Okay.
So, this film is based around the tales of Uncle Remus.
Mhm.
Good old Uncle Remus.
Did
It's
you have where it was set at?
it's in Atlanta, Georgia, right? Or it's in
in
Georgia.
Georgia.
It's
I
not in
don't know
Atlanta because
specifically
they're
in
coming from
Atlanta.
Atlanta. Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get there.
But it isn't set in Georgia on a plantation.
Yep.
During the Reconstruction era American South, just as the Civil War had concluded and slavery has ended.
Slavery has ended.
Mhm.
It is both live action and animation.
Mhm.
If you're wondering who Uncle Remus is, if you're a kid of the 90s like myself and KJ here, if you grew up watching the Disney sing-alongs, the Zippity Doo song, the Zippity Doo part is straight from this movie. So like you said,
Yeah.
the music is amazing, but we'll get there.
Mhm.
Our pup loves it. So then we meet our main character, Johnny. Johnny's played by Bobby Driscoll, who will be in
And so many movies.
Yeah, so there's a lot of movies coming up where Bobby Driscoll is in, and this is his first. He's the main character, Johnny. He's actually the voice of Peter Pan, which is also coming up. So Johnny travels with his family, like you mentioned, right after the Civil War, with his family to stay at his mother's family's plantation, the grandmother's plantation,
Mhm.
while his father is away in the city. Johnny's not very happy with his father for not being there, and that becomes a running theme throughout the movie.
Yeah.
Anything to add on that before I keep going?
So basically at the plantation, he meets Uncle Remus, and he is told that Uncle Remus tells the best tales in the whole United States of Georgia.
United States of Georgia.
And I
But
thought that was cute.
Even before he meets Uncle Remus, everyone's talking about Uncle Remus. His
Mhm.
mother, his father.
I forgot the kid's name that's like around Johnny's
Well,
age.
his name
Do you remember?
is, I have it written
I
down
did not write it
here.
down, but I liked him. He was a very cute kid,
Yeah.
especially the United States of Georgia.
Toby. His friend's name is Toby. And everyone's talking about Uncle Remus. Grandmother, the people on the plantation, his parents.
Mhm.
So Johnny's been hearing stories about the great Uncle Remus his entire life,
Mhm.
especially on the carriage ride, like we said,
Mhm.
because Uncle Remus told stories to his mother and his father growing up.
Mhm.
And then the family's friends, children's, they all, once he arrives, that we're talking about this Uncle Remus and all of his stories.
Mhm.
But he's never had a chance to meet him, so he doesn't. He's not sure if he's real or not.
Mhm.
But
Because he's kind of a legend.
that's a perfect way to put it. So then, Johnny's upset though. Johnny's upset.
Mhm.
A lot of this movie, Johnny's upset because of his father. His father's not staying. His father does not appear to be the most wonderful person, but his father can't stay. So Johnny also tries to run away.
And he didn't pack any snacks.
That's right. And he runs into a campfire, sing along. Well, not into the campfire, but he runs by a campfire where
Everyone is envisioning
the
him running
end.
into fire.
So funny side note, completely off topic. I don't even know if you know this, but in my younger years, I went to a Boy Scout camp and someone tried to jump over the fire this way, tried to jump over the fire this way, and they collided in the middle and they fell on the fire. But that's a whole other thing. So Johnny's upset and he tries to run away, but he ends up running by a campfire where there's songs and tales by the one and only Uncle Remus. So he does get to meet Uncle Remus for the first time. And again, if you've ever seen the VHS, the sing-alongs, the Zippity Doo Dah, that's who Uncle Remus is.
Yeah.
And he's telling these stories, and he's telling the best stories in the entire United States of Georgia.
Yeah. And Uncle Remus actually talks him into going back to his place to pack some snacks before they make tracks.
It's true. So Uncle Remus tells the stories of the life and adventures of the animated creature, the Brer Rabbit, who is the star of Splash Mountain. He's the star of this movie.
He's pretty cute.
It's cute. I love his voice. And the first story happens on one of those zippity doo dah days. And the scene cuts to an animated background for the famous Zippity Doo Dah song I mentioned earlier. It's the truth. It's actual. Everything is satisfactual, which actually says satisfactual right there. So the first time that we see the animated the Brer Rabbit is after the song, where he is running away from the briar patch, conveniently like Johnny was trying to run away. Of course, Brer Rabbit wanted to leave his troubles behind. He was heading straight into a whole mess of new troubles along the way, says Uncle Remus. Brer Rabbit gets to Chickapin Hill, where we meet the villainous Brer Fox, who begins to chase Brer Rabbit, and then we run into the menacing but very clumsy Brer Bear. Yep. Brer Bear has this giant big club that he travels with him, but he never even saw Brer Rabbit. He was no help whatsoever.
Yeah. And he doesn't, honestly, I mean, he's definitely not one that I would think's scary on his own. You could pet that dog.
The bear?
Yeah.
The fox is menacing, though. The fox is a bad guy.
But I feel like if you were to meet the bear on its own, that would be one that you could probably pet and get along with.
So in the story, they do eventually catch Brer Rabbit in this in this first animated film. But he is able to convince Brer Bear to take his spot in the hanging trap, which is also in the ride. Yeah. So of course, like you said, through the story, Uncle Remus convinces Johnny to stop running away.
Yeah.
So Johnny heads back to the plantation, and he and his friend Toby, who lives on the plantation, decide to go frog hunting. Frog, which is a really funny story because when I met your sister's ex-boyfriend, he asked me if I ever went frogging before.
Yeah. I think he wanted to take you frogging.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea. But on their adventure, we do meet a girl from a poor family named Ginny.
Ginny.
Ginny actually is also a reoccurring actress like Bobby Driscoll in a bunch of upcoming movies.
Yeah.
So I guess they're the first Disney it couple. So Ginny's two brothers, who are referred to as the bullies, they are just that. They're bullies throughout the entire movie. Ginny becomes friendly with Bobby and his friends and ends up giving one of her puppies to Johnny because the bully boys, they're threatening to like beat up the dog and drown.
Yeah, it was the runt of the litter.
Yeah, the runt of the litter, and they're going to drown the puppy. So since Ginny's mom said she could do whatever she wanted with it,
because
it was hers, she gave it to Johnny, which will become a reoccurring trend of this. But the bullies aren't happy. Yeah. If you look right here at our pup right here, she's not happy either with the bullies.
No.
So Johnny's mother won't let him take care of the puppy, though. He's not ready to take care of the puppy. So he brings it to Uncle Remus, because of course he would. Why wouldn't he? Who uses his time to do anything. Guess what he's going to do? Tell another story about Brer Rabbit. Anything you want to touch on about this, or should I keep on diving?
Another story. Let's see. Like you said, the Zippity Doo Dah. In the story, the Brer Rabbit tale took place a long time ago when things were a lot more satisfactual. And I really do love the Zippity Doo Dah song. I'm pretty sure
not our favorite, though.
I'm pretty sure it did make another appearance there. Yeah. And it was an Oscar-winning song.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yes,
that's awesome.
And it originated obviously from this movie, but it is kind of ubiquitous at the Disney parks and parades.
Yeah,
because of its attachment to this movie.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So this current story is turns back into animation into animated, and it's um the "How Do You Do" song scene,
Mhm.
which is face song. So
Face song.
something I love about this scene though, it has the frog that's fishing,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is also on the ride. I don't know if it's in this picture or not, but it's the
No.
frog fishing, which I thought was adorable. I would get that tattooed on me. Um, so remember when we were riding Splash Mountain and we got evacuated and we had to walk through with the lights on?
Yeah.
And we got to see all that, including that
Watch
frog.
the frog. Mhm.
Yeah. So in the scene, the Brer Bear and the fox try to catch Brer Rabbit
Mhm.
by creating a fake baby made out of tar to stop him and trap him. And it works. But the rabbit is able to use reverse psychology to have them release him to the briar patch, thinking that it would hurt him. But since he grew up in it, he knew how to survive. Anything to add on that? So he uses reverse psychology, which Johnny then used when he learned about the story to escape the bullies by tricking them into telling on themselves to their mother,
Mhm.
getting them in lots of trouble because it was Ginny's dog, and making them even madder at him, causing them to then tell Johnny's mother that he has the dog, causing her to forbid Johnny from getting any more stories from Uncle Remus.
Mhm.
Um,
Because Johnny's mom is ridiculous.
I mean, she's not as bad as his dad, but yeah.
She's ridiculous.
So
His parents are ridiculous.
perfect segue, because then we get to the ridiculous them throwing him a birthday party because it is his birthday.
Mhm. Have we
Um,
talked about how Johnny has a crush on Jenny?
yeah. So it's very much just it's very much unspoken, but you can tell,
Yes.
especially in this next scene,
Mhm.
because
He really wants to invite her to his party.
to his party, and all the family is coming, the friends are all coming to his, everybody on the plantation is coming to
And
his
I think
party.
she has a crush on him too.
I mean, she just wants to look nice in her dress.
I know, but
So
his Johnny's party.
his birthday's coming, and all he wants to do is invite Ginny, and he wants his father to be there, which isn't happening. So they do get to invite Ginny, and she gets all fancy in her best dress, and she's very proud of this. But on the walk over, the bullies push their poor sister into the mud, causing her to run away crying because they ruined her one good dress. Johnny attempts to fight them off, but he can't. Luckily, the fight was broken up by Uncle Remus. So Uncle Remus tells the boys to leave him alone, so they do.
Mhm.
And Johnny runs after the upset Ginny, whose dress is ruined by her jerk brothers. Neither one of them want to go to the party because his father's not there.
Jenny's brother are the absolute worst.
They're the bullies for a reason.
And
Yeah.
Johnny's parents are ridiculous.
Yeah. So neither one of them want to be at
the entire movie.
Neither one of them. Yeah. Neither one of them want to be at the party anyway. So they're sitting there consoling each other, and who finds them again but Uncle Remus, because he is the soul of the plantation. He's the soul of the movie.
Mhm.
And he finds both children, and what does he do? He decides that he's gonna tell them another tale.
Mhm.
Which brings us back to Brer Rabbit and the Laughing Place, which is another scene from the ride, but
Mhm.
it does depict the rabbit trapped and tied up, almost about to be roasted by the villains. But he convinces them that they need to see his laughing place, which they lead him to, only for him to escape after Brer Bear and Brer Fox get attacked by bees. Anything that you remember from that little short there?
I don't remember which short it was from, but I did learn the lesson that you can't run away from trouble.
Exactly.
So it's pretty much you have to face it head on.
So he's able to escape through the laughing place, which is right before you get thrown over the edge on Splash Mountain. But
yeah, and I felt frustrated for Johnny because I mean obviously the stories are teaching him life lessons, and his mom eventually is torn about them. But it's like, why do parents never listen to kids?
oh, it's gonna get worse.
I know.
So This does cheer up the children, but when he does return them back to the plantation, the mother is so upset that Johnny missed the party and chose stories over the party that she threw him that she tells Uncle Remus to never see her son again. This would be a perfect spot for this start to rain in a Disney movie, but we'll get there because it hasn't.
Well, it obviously rained because she got pushed down in some mud.
Well, we don't see it, but we'll cover that in a second. So a very sad and let down Uncle Remus decides that he's packing it up and he's leaving all of his stuff and everything that he has ever known on the plantation to go to Atlanta. He's let down. He's going to Atlanta. Except that when he's leaving, Johnny sees this and he runs after him through the pasture, which goes back to you saying the meadow was a bad place. He's attacked and very badly injured by the family's bull.
Yes. And Toby?
Toby's the kid.
Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, Toby warned him about not going through there because of the bull. So another episode of a movie or an example of a warning, don't do this, and then the person legit does it later.
They bring it up later. So he runs after Uncle Remus and he gets hurt. And he is unconscious. He is not looking good. He is brought into bed and the doctors come and things don't look good. Again, a perfect time for it to start raining and it doesn't start to rain, but that's okay. So then we finally see Uncle Remus returns with Johnny's father, which is a nice little plot twist.
Because Uncle Remus is the best. Absolute best.
Uncle Remus returns with Johnny's father. Uncle Remus asks to go up to Johnny's bedside, and he's allowed to.
Yeah. So
he tells more Brer Rabbit tales until Johnny miraculously wakes up. Because what kind of happy ever after would it be if he didn't wake up? So the tales wake up, and everybody's shocked. Even Johnny's shocked that his father's there. It's a cute ending where they are consoling each other because Johnny survived and they're back together, and they realize the power of Uncle Remus because his stories helped get him to be better. Do you have anything else to add on that, or?
No, just a quick synopsis of people. Stories can teach lessons.
It's true.
And Jenny's brothers are the absolute worst. And Johnny's mom is just ridiculous. And his dad is also ridiculous.
But he comes back.
But Uncle Remus is the absolute best.
The hero of the movie.
In the United States of Georgia.
And
maybe even America. He's a pretty awesome dude.
So
I enjoyed his stories.
The final scene shows a recovered Johnny, Ginny, Toby, and the puppy strolling through the field when Uncle Remus is watching on from a distance, and he is in shock because out of nowhere, Brer Rabbit and all of his pals show up to stroll and sing with the children. So the stories do come true at the end.
Yeah.
But there is something I have to add. I know I alluded to it. There's an entire section of this movie that I have left off where the people on the plantation are walking to work and they're singing. And they're singing songs about rain. But there's no rain in this movie. There's no storms. There's no snow. Nothing. So, unfortunately, our ever paying attention very, very closely to Disney rainstorm streak has ended at 10 movies. No wonder they cut this out. But, so sorry, that was rude. So that's the movie. It has the reputation it has. It's not for public viewing anywhere. If you're gonna find it for completeness, Uncle Remus is a hero. Though there is undertones to this movie, time frames. Again, we did cover Victory Through Air Power, and that had some timeliness to it, but so we're going to cover this, but the animated shorts of this are really charming. and they are the highlight. Uncle Remus deserves. He's the hero of the movie. It does have the reputation it does. It has been removed. So if you don't do the deep dive with us on this one, we understand. But we do have to do our friend KJ's rating and what IMDb has to say.
So IMDb rated it a 6.9.
Pretty standard for theirs.
I actually rated it at 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. I mean, it.
Uncle Remus had some great stories, and I really like how Brer Rabbit was brought to life in his stories. And if you do, or you did, have the like opportunity to ride Splash Mountain, I mean, it is a very awesome thing. So, not looking at the negative things, I did
Yeah.
rate it an 8 out of 10.
And Walt did always say that we have to look towards the future.
Mhm.
And I am very much looking forward to Tiana's adventure, the new Splash Mountain, the Princess and the Frog ride. We are obviously recording this a little bit early. By the time it comes out, it will already be out, and we might have already ridden it. We do have the pleasure, and we're lucky enough to be able to go as annual pass holders multiple times. We'll beat that to death on this podcast that we do have the opportunity to go. Sorry that our pup is snoring over here. At least she's calmed down. But it's raining here, but it's not raining in the movie, so our streak is ended. But so we're looking forward to it. We're always moving forward. We are gonna list this on this. We decided to list it on for completeness. So we're gonna let KJ list it first, and she's gonna read her list upon a star because for the first time, it's changing.
Oh, let's see. I have to find mine. I might need some help because I
Okay.
have the dog. Okay, so I am actually going to place it over Make Mine Music.
Well, you have to slide things down.
No, I don't.
So you're just gonna make my music out, but leave Victory Through Air Power at number 10? Or are you gonna move all the other ones down?
Oh, I guess I could do that. Yes, sure. Go ahead. Okay. Thank you for assisting me.
So go ahead and read yours.
I did Dumbo, The Three Caballeros, Fantasia, Saludos Amigos, Bambi, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Song of the South, Make Mine Music, The Reluctant Dragon, and Pinocchio.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do mine a little bit differently. I'm all for looking forward as opposed to looking back. So it is gonna make the list, but we're gonna replace just the bottom here of Victory Through Air Power, and we're gonna put them down here for now. Long live Uncle Remus and my dear friend Brer Rabbit. Watch it on YouTube. We got the wonderful opportunity experience to get evacuated from the ride, so we got to walk through it before it closed. But my top 10 here is Pinocchio, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, The Three Caballeros, Dumbo, Bambi, Saludos Amigos, The Reluctant Dragon, Fantasia, Make Mine Music, and Song of the South. Thank you for watching. Thank you for making it 11 episodes with us. Thank you for literally doing a deep dive on this.
Yep.
I'm saying thank you. KJ's saying thank you. Our darling princess pup over here is saying thank you. She does watch the ride on YouTube and loves listening to the birds sing. That is her thing. Before we do end it though, next week we are diving into yet another package film that because of the war efforts. But we are moving on to 1947.
Yeah.
We're moving on to Fun and Fancy Free.
All right. Make sure to check us out.
Thank you.
Thanks for deep diving the magic. Bye.